Let's go.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean P and Reese back again for another night of Shadow Code Radio. And Reese, we had an interesting weekend. We started off Thursday talking about the Eminem diss record that dropped, and this whole weekend has been dedicated to Game, man. He's a trending topic in hip hop right now. He dropped the Drillmatic Heart versus the Mind album on Friday night. Um, well, Thursday night into Friday. And that's all the buzz that's been going on now. So tonight, this is what we're going to do, people. We're just going to talk Drillmatic Heart versus the Mind all night. Um, we're going to give our reviews, break it down, and really break down the whole meaning of this album. I did a short video on Shadow Code Radio on the YouTube channel, talking about just my initial thoughts of it, where I stand with it. I listened to it a few more times, and tonight's going to be the final review. So Reese, I'll let you start off the festivities. Um, where are we gonna start with this album here?
Uh, I want to start with the high points of the album for me.
All right, let's do that.
So, it's really only maybe two high points for me on this album. Um, actually, it's really only two. Um, so my high points to this album is Pusha T's verse. I thought that was
Brought that up.
magnificent.
My one of my high points too.
Yeah, I thought that was an absolutely gem of a verse. Um, and that beat on that song, that's the best song on the album to me. I
Oh
think
yeah.
that song's by far the
Oh,
best on the album.
um,
So
definitely.
that's my highest point of this album, and that's me not being biased or nitpicking. That's the highest point to me on this album, and that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, could get me wrong. So we all know Game can rap a little bit. I don't think he's at his best on this album. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But for me, I want to start with that. That's the highest point of this album to me.
Yeah, I gotta piggyback off of that one. That was by far the best verse on this album. Period. Um, and it wasn't even really a full verse, but he killed that song. That might be the hardest song on here. Um, No Man Falls, definitely. Um, I think as far as high points is concerned, I would say the production to a point. I like the soulful Hit Boy beats that were done were pretty good. I think the beats in the beginning were done. Like One Time with Ice T, I think that was done. And I also say that the features were pretty good, but I think the features were way too overdone. You know what I mean? Um, I think in part two of tonight's show, I think we gotta after we give our reviews, we gotta talk about compilation albums because this, for all intents and purposes, is a compilation album. But are they really, like? Can you make a great compilation album? Because this is basically what it feels like with all of these features on here. But I would say the production, some of the features on here, and some of the beats were the high points to me.
Yeah, this is definitely a single reach album. It's like, okay, if I'm killing with this single, I'm killing with this single. If I'm
Yeah,
killing with this single, oh, this one gonna get him. That's how I feel about this album. I think compilation albums, if they're not done right, they're trash. I don't care who's on the album.
Oh yeah, it's easy to fuck that up, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have it, my thing is like most rappers back in the day, they had an overall theme. So if they had a lot of people on the album, they stuck with the theme of the album. You know what I'm saying? Like Life After Death. They had a lot of people on that album, but he stuck with the features on the album. They stuck with the theme of the album. You know what I'm saying? But here you have people who they're just making a bunch of songs. He could literally take those songs apart and put them on different albums, and it would just sound the same, like it was just on an album. These songs to me sound like songs that was just on an album. They sound
I'm
like a bunch of beat cuts.
this just to go off of that point. This had to be one of the worst put together albums I've ever heard in my life. Um, it I mean, some of the and see, here's the thing. It starts out good. Like it starts out like the one time easy. It starts out pretty strong because easy with Kanye West, I like that. It starts out kind of dark, but then it's like he tries to do all of these songs like the burning checks with Fabio Foreign. This is what I don't understand about this whole thing. And I guess the title was Drillmatic Heart and Mind. So he wanted to get some drill records on here. He has like about 3 or 4 drill records on here.
Yeah,
But that's not your style. First of all, you're from LA. Drill ain't your thing out there. So why are you trying to do someone else's style the way they do it? Like the song with Fabio Foreign, that would be a good song for his album, but why are you doing it on your album and you're doing his style? You know what I mean? It don't make any sense
yeah,
when you're not a drill rapper.
yeah. I really wasn't feeling that song. It's
It's an
like,
okay song, but it's like it don't fit.
but
Like,
all of those songs that are made like that are okay, except for Pop Smoke and maybe three other artists that do it. They all just be okay because it's the same rap, same cadence, same everything, same lyrics. It's like to me, it's just like, and I get what you're saying about that's not, but I just think that that's a reach. You know what I'm saying? It's a
oh,
reach.
bitches on here.
It's such a reach for you to do a song like that. You know what I'm saying? And you are at the point in your career where you don't need to do songs like you are a super rapper. You actually can rap really well. Why are
And
you
see,
dumbing down your style like that?
I'm like, okay, why did he do this song? Um, and then like the couple songs after that were okay. Um, but OPP, the song with Young Boy NBA, that's another drill trap type of record. Terrible. Why? Why are you doing a song with him? You know what I mean? You're an MC. That's not your deal. Like drill is not your deal. And why are you doing that? You know what I mean? You're an MC. You win with lyrics, not with ignorant rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, it's Game trying to do somebody else's style on his album, and I'm like, why are you reaching like that, dog? You know what I mean?
I just think Game to me is he's one of those artists that think he's more important than what it really is. It's like, oh, I'm Game, and look at me, look what I'm doing. It's like, okay, we know you had all these people on the album, but you can't mass trap trash shit, bro. I don't care how you try to hide it.
But see, this is my thing. And then he does all of these remakes on here. He does the Change the Game remake, which was it, I'm like, why are you remaking a song, a Jay-Z song, and he didn't even really do it justice. Like,
He did a couple of
I'm
those.
disrespectful. The one that was really bad was how dare you remix Money Cash Hoes, dog, or remake Money Cash Hoes. Like Money Cash Clothes, that was terrible. That was god awful. That's disrespect to DMX and Jay Z. That's disrespect to them, man.
So he did Getaway from Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
He also used Prodigy from Quiet Storm sample and talking in the beginning after
Yeah.
right after that song. It's like what
Um.
first of all, you should never touch them songs.
Oh
those
my
songs are
God.
like fucking they're like fucking Billie Jean. You don't touch them songs. Now you leave
That
Quiet
song
Storm alone. Don't
that
ever
he did,
touch that.
the song that he did with Moneybag Yo with the old school Suave House 8 ball NJG style, Talk to Me Nice. That was done pretty good. That was actually one of the high points on the album. Having him, Meek Mill, Moneybag Yo, and Blacks, they worked together. That was actually a good feature, you know.
Yeah.
But then the Money Cash hoes, like, come on, man.
Money Cash
Or Money
Clothes.
Cash clothes, that's terrible.
Get the fuck out of here with that game.
And and
Kidding me?
then the song with Big Sean that was god awful. How are you going? This is my thing. You're gonna come on Black Slim Shady, right? And you're gonna come and say that Big Sean is the real Don of Detroit, and then you're gonna come up with one of the worst Big Sean verses and Big Sean features of all time on Stupid. Right after that, like see what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to come with a record with Big Sean and have him just murder that track
Yeah.
to basically say, yeah, I'm the real face of Detroit. That's what that was so trash.
Yeah, let's be
30 years
clear.
back.
Let's be clear here. Big Sean, he's not the face of Detroit. We know what time it is. He's not even number 3 probably in Detroit. We know what time it is. Like, I don't understand why he would
He
say that.
Slim Shady. He said it on Black Slim Shady. You know
We
what I
all
mean?
know that Big Sean's not the face of Detroit.
And then you bring Big Sean on and he shit the bed on the record. That
Oh,
record was terrible.
like, come on. What
Like, come on.
are we doing here? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. This is like,
Um,
I don't know. I don't understand this.
I like it ended pretty well. Like I like the Rick Ross feature, but Rick Ross is one of the greatest feature artists of all time. So you're not going to get a bad record with him. I mean, Ross knows him and Ross sound good together on records, so that's a nice record. I like the concept of a father's prayer for his daughter. It's ironic. Oh, you're gonna trash Eminem and his daughter on Black Slim Shady, but then you're gonna talk. That's another confusing thing. I'm confused, man.
He's a
You're
walking
gonna trash
contradiction, man.
and make fun of him and his daughter or whatever, but then you're gonna come on a father's prayer and you're gonna praise all of these rappers and their daughters in the game, like bro, pick a side. Like, what's your energy here? Like, I don't get that. You know what I mean? Um, then the Universal Love, another old school '90s sample that was kind of forgettable on there. It's just all over the place, man.
I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand it.
I, and you know what's funny, man? This is in the end of the day, we kind of thought it was gonna be Hit Boy, it was gonna be Kanye West. We thought this was gonna be the album. This was gonna be a separate the men from the boys type of album with those names producing, but this is a typical Game album. It's a compilation album. It's inconsistent. It's not put together well. Carried by features where he's rapping like the other artists on the features and a bunch of remakes. He's done this for like the last, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 albums he's done this. Now, the other albums were better because the features were better and maybe it was I don't know. The sampling wasn't as offensive with how you're going to do these remakes, even though he did remake some of them. But
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like this album was just horribly executed from the start.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that he really tried to match this album with producers. The features, they're gonna do what they do. But see, my thing is, I just feel like at this point in rapper's career, his, I mean, If this was a newer artist, okay. But at this point in your career, you what 7 albums in, 8 albums in. This sounds like this sounds to me like premature. This doesn't sound like you did with your other albums. To me, I think that he should have. I really believe that Game should have came out with something that's a little more conceptual. Instead of doing it, you have with a name like that. I'm thinking that this album is going to be more conceptual, but it just sounds to me like you just chose just names because they're
Before
buzzwords. That's
I,
it.
I wanna follow up on the conceptual point right there. But before I get to that, what do you think about Game overall on this album? How are his raps? How are his lyrics? What did he do? How is he to you? Like, what would you rate him just him alone?
He had a lot of hits and misses on this album to me.
Yeah,
He had a
he
lot
did.
of verses I didn't really care for. It's like, oh, all right. Like I listened to the whole album, then I listened to it again, and then I
Yeah,
went back and listened to it, and I found myself in the middle of him rapping, I just skipped to the next song. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't nothing groundbreaking. He didn't do anything that was like so out of his element.
but you know what? That's Game for his career. I mean, I reviewed every Game album since documentary not too long ago, and I noticed that he would crush one verse out of this world. Like, yo, like he would own a verse and then just come up with some lazy bar shit the next verse, almost like he was just rapping to get the song over with. He's the most confounding, inconsistent rapper that basically, like, he's kind of frustrating because he's got the skills to really put it together, but it's typical Game. Like, he'll crush one verse and he'll come with a dope concept, and then you'll just follow it up with some shit like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'll put it to you like this: the songs that he was rapping by himself were pretty good. Like Heart versus the Mind, which was kind of like a concept record, like you were talking about. Yeah, that's what I want to get back to, the concepts. Like his concept records, like the Heart versus the Mind, he was pretty good with that. What was the other one where he talked about, what we not gonna do? That was a good record. Good record. Good, nice concept.
Mm.
Talking about,
Bloods,
you
you
know,
fake bloods.
the Bloods and and also, it kind of like a playoff of like the Kendrick stuff with black relationships in the
Yeah.
first verse. That was a dope record. But then you follow it up with like a fluff record like on Fortunate. That was like, what the fuck was the point of that? It was like a wasted Kanye West feature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating, man. Frustrating.
Yeah, I think that he has. I think he, and I'm gonna continue to say this because I believed it. I think he felt as though that if he can get all the popular people and all of the good producers on this album, it'll be a successful album. What people got to understand is you still got to make good music. I don't care who you have on the album. I don't care how it goes. If you are doing something that turns people off, you can have Jay-Z on every song and people not gonna give a fuck because you gotta have good music and people gotta like it. Your first
I,
single is Black Slim Shady. That was the bad move. He shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have did that. He should have put out something maybe with the NBA YoungBoy single or something else. Don't put the Black Slim because now we know exactly what you're doing to get record sales. You could have had that as the second or third song.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that in the sum up as to really what the whole point of Black Slim Shady was. But just getting back to the review, um, it was just all over the place. I'll tell you what. All right, what do you think was? All right, I'm gonna let you guess. What was the corniest moment on this on this album? Just take a guess.
For me,
Yeah, Let's see if we thinking on the same wavelength here on this one.
Trying to think, man. This is a lot of corny moments to
Yeah. But what took the
me. I don't know, man. It was a couple of them, man. For me, I don't know. I don't know, man. Go ahead.
you were probably gonna say Black Slim Shady, but the Drake with the braids interlude, dude. The Drake calling, that had to be the lamest kind of fake flex, fake energy shit I've ever seen in my life. You know what it reminds me of, right?
Yeah,
I remember not too long ago, Logic did this thing. So Logic on his album had his answering machine play, right? And Elton John called up. And
yeah,
Elton John said, Logic, I just want to say I love your music, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait to link up so we could work together. Be whatever, right? And that was like the most petty, corniest thing because basically you're trying to say you're so great, Elton John wants to work with you when
yeah,
you know your music is shit.
yeah,
Or you know your music is, I'm not gonna say shit because Logic can rap, but you know you're overrated, dude.
yeah,
That's the same thing I'm thinking here. So you basically getting Drake to call up saying, I'm too busy to work with you. I got X, Y, and Z going on in my life. I'm doing these business deals, but we'll link up again because you say you're retiring, but I know you're not really retiring. He kind of, he basically, Drake basically mocked him on his old album, right?
yeah,
And said, we'll link up another time or whatever.
yeah,
The most corny wannabe flex move because y'all already got a single together. It's not like, oh, you never worked with Drake before, but
yeah,
it's like, bro, like, what was the point of that? Like to say, oh, Drake almost worked with me on my album, even though we worked before, but he's got a lot going on in his life. Like, what the fuck was that?
he just to me just one of those guys that just thinks
Oh
he's
my
cool with
god,
everybody. Everybody's cool with game. It's like no, everybody just tolerate you. That's it. It's not that they're cool with you. They tolerate you. You're not the guy that they go to. Be like, yeah, I gotta get game on this album. Like, no. Do you know how many features with people who have game on their album? Like, no, nobody goes to you, bro. It's like you're just that guy that's just there and you just so happens to be in the sphere. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
that had to be the lamest moment
I gave this
on
album, man. I gave it,
period, man.
yeah,
I mean, I'll just sum up some of the other points that wasn't too bad. I actually like the French Montana Tory Lane single with Khaled on there of all people. Speaking of compilation albums, what is the other one? Yeah, man, like I maybe out of the 30 song, 31, well 30 songs, because they took off the Nipsey Hussle one.
why did they do that? I didn't
I
listen.
think maybe a sample didn't clear or something. Said something about the brother took the song off. Nipsey's brother took it off.
Yeah,
I might say that I like maybe about, I'd be generous and say 7 songs, and I'd probably say about, I don't know, about 13 maybe aren't skips. They're at least okay to listen to. But the rest of this album is just forgettable stuff or just whack. And it was terribly put together. You know what I mean? So basically 13 out of 30. I'll give you 13. And it's like I said, like if Game would have just took the song to kind of rap, he rapped by himself, or maybe just had an R&B hook, and maybe added in, I don't know, maybe the Pusha T feature, or the song with, I also like the song with him and Jeremiah alone. That joint. The song with Kanye, Ice T, maybe. Maybe the one of Meek Mill and Moneybagg Yo. you'd have a decent album. You'd have a pretty good album that people could talk about. Like, yo, Game really kind of did his thing, but it, it's just if doing too much on an album was a person, it would be Game in this album. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I think you're a little more generous than me. I'm probably never gonna listen to this album again.
Oh
Never.
no, I'm not listening to it either.
You know what I'm saying?
I might, maybe about 5 or 6 cuts might make my playlist,
None of the
but
maybe
about
one
it.
one cut will make my playlist. All the other ones I couldn't care less for, but the one
But
with I like
edible,
the one with Pusha T and Two Chains. That's
yeah.
it. Cause I like the beat and I like their raps. That's the only one.
Basically, this album will be forgotten about in a week. Um, Game got what I guess he got what he wanted. He got people talking about the Eminem diss. He's trending, but for what? This album's going to be forgotten about. It's not going to be on anybody's top 10 list. I mean, I'm looking at the scores on the websites. They're rating this thing like a 5 out of 10, a 53 out of 100. You know what I mean? I'm like,
The more
all this for that?
man, listen, the more songs you put on the album, the worse it'll get for you. He should have kept it
We
short.
got to talk about that. Yeah.
That's one too. There was one song on there called Voodoo where he try to rap like Kendrick Lamar. I noticed that. He tried to rap like Kendrick Lamar on the first verse on his cadences, and it's like
Yeah.
almost identical. Like try to be. See, that's corny to me. Because you know that first of all, that's Kendrick's style, and no one's ever used that before. So now you want to rap like that? Like, come on, bro. Don't do that. You know what I'm
Well, he
saying?
got to rap like Kendrick with Kendrick on his album before, so
Come on.
why put anything past him?
Come on.
All right. So where are you going score wise? What's your
Six.
album?
6.
Wow. That's exactly my score too. I'm going 6 out of 10.
6.
Um, that's as high as I can go.
Yeah.
I feel I'm being generous, really.
Yeah.
I'm
6.
giving him a lot of leeway with that 6 out of 10, but
Most of
it's
that 6 is because of the production.
yeah,
Love you.
production and the features.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going six
F-
out of 10. At worst, a very low end kind of mid type of album, and he disappointed, man. He did not live up to the expectations. He just didn't, man.
yeah.
This was this was probably, I would say, the most anticipated album of the summer. It was talked about. I mean, Kendrick came and Kendrick did his thing, but this had a little bit more juice to it for whatever reason. I don't know. Um, I shouldn't say that. Kendrick Lamar coming back after 5 years was a big deal. But
Yeah.
Kendrick delivered. He did what he did. But after that, um, this Game album got a lot of pub, and it tanked, man. It definitely tanked.
The thing is, it's a bunch of reasons why people like genuine and they like authenticity. And I feel, and I'm gonna be honest with people. I don't care what nobody says. I believe that not even just the single Black Slim Shady. I believe when he started talking about Eminem, killed itself. He killed itself. I think when he focused on Eminem, because people were scratching their head like, why are you why are you focused on Eminem? Like what's the point of you? Why? Like
I want to get to that. Yeah.
they scratching their head. So I believe that. But what I want to do on the next segment is what's the dude's name? Mike and Coop. That's their name.
Cooper Mike,
Cooper
according to hip
Mike.
hop.
So in the next segment, I want to actually talk about what they said.
Oh, you have the video.
No, I don't have the video, but I want
Okay.
to talk about they saying that Game is a genius for rapping like Eminem, and making people realizing that Eminem is corny. So I want to
We'll
address
talk about
that
it. We'll
in
talk
the
about
next.
um we're gonna talk about next segment. Let's talk about the reviews that it's getting, and we'll talk about what Mike and Coop said according to hip hop and the compilation album. But before we close this segment out, and you kind of tiptoed into it about Eminem. Really, what was the point of this album? Like, where did this start? Like, because I was really thinking, all right, why was this album made? And what would you say is the main reason here?
I think that outside of Eminem, let's just skip that because this album isn't enough energy for Eminem. I don't think Eminem should even reply. I don't think it's enough energy for it. I think it's just I think he made this album to kind of fake flex and show people that he got a lot of friends in the industry and he got a lot of and he can get all
Mm-hmm.
these people on a song or on an album.
Yeah,
Like I can do more than all you niggas. Whatever you trying to do, I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I also believe that it was a reason why, because I believe that the first version of this album was better. The only reason why he added more songs is because of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's
that's
how
it.
I feel. That's
Yeah,
the only reason why he added more songs. I believe before that, he had probably about 13 songs, and it probably was a good album. But he
yeah.
seen Kendrick come out with all those songs, and he didn't have many features, but he had Kodak on there and what's his name. But he seen Kendrick come out, and he was like, "Oh, that's the key." A lot of songs, a lot of songs.
Kendrick didn't have this many songs
No, he
though.
definitely didn't. But what he had, Kendrick had what, 22, 21?
Yeah.
He's like, this is the key. Make more songs.
Oh God.
And look, I'm from LA and I'm flexing. I got more features than Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I got the best niggas on my album. But
I,
that's like,
but you know what? I perfectly agree with you. This was a fake flex album. This album was made out of insecurity.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why it was. Game was pretty much retired. I believe this is supposed to either be his last album or he was retiring. He was retired or something around end of last year or so. So this is like his last album, whatever. He was basically going to hang it up. Let's put it out there. But what I think happened was that Super Bowl halftime shit that really hurt him, yo. He was really, really hurt with him, and he was scorned by that. So that's where the Eminem energy really started because he felt that on Shady Aftermath, oh, they brought 50 out. That should be me on the show because it's LA. He really thought that he was, like you said, he was better than he thought he was. He thought he was on the level of like a Snoop or a Dr. Dre or a 50. And you're not. You're not even close to that tier, dog. You might be a legendary West Coast rapper. You're not that level of icon. You're definitely
Yeah.
not on the level of Eminem. Let's get that out the way. He took that to heart. And that's when the Eminem stuff started. That's when well, for real, I'm a better rapper than Eminem because he felt scorned that Eminem was getting that attention from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what I'm going to do? Just like you said, I'm going to get all my friends and all of my producers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go run to, you know what he did? I'm going to tell you exactly what he did. And this is the biggest, like, kind of
I already know what
insecurity.
you're gonna say.
Yeah. Because Dr. Dre didn't call him.
Yeah.
Who does he call? Kanye West.
Yeah.
He goes, Kanye, you believe they didn't put me on the Super Bowl show?
Fuck
Blah,
that
blah,
shit.
blah. And of course, Kanye West, he's an emotional dude. You can
Yeah.
talk in. He
Yeah.
said, all right, man, this is what we're going to do. And he gets a single with Kanye.
Yeah.
And then Kanye says, he talks Kanye into doing some records and doing his
Yeah.
album. And he's like, yeah, I'll show these guys.
Yeah.
I got all of the friends in the industry, and I'm going to make this big super album.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Eminem pay Ford
Yeah.
and all these guys.
How you gonna have a Super Bowl in Bompton and don't invite me? Crazy?
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
crazy?
mean, that's exactly what happened here. And to be honest with you, it blew up in your face, bro, because I'm giving this album literally maybe one more day of life. Then the numbers are gonna come out. They're not gonna be good. And they're gonna be like, okay, life goes on, bye game. What's
Yeah.
next?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have his little 15 minutes of fame for 2022, and they're gonna forget about this thing. End of story.
He should have did a solo album and really went ham and just rapped. I think if he would have did if it, and this is just my I think that Game would have had top 5 album if his songs were on the lines of the No Man what's the name, on the same lines of the Pusha T and 2 Chainz song. If he did something in that area with the beats like that and he rapped on, man, listen, you know what I'm saying?
Got the skills.
And he would have got the streams because people would have been like, yo, this album is crazy. See, I think when people, he got to understand, just because you link with NBA Youngboy doesn't mean everybody's going to like that song. Oh, it's a new NBA Youngboy with Game on it. Oh, they listen to it one time and that's it. Then they'll go back to listening to his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this album, and I'm gonna go on record. I'm gonna say I think this album is probably. I don't think this album's gonna even do 20,000 units. I think it's gonna do less than that.
Yeah. I said it's not gonna make 25K. It's probably gonna do a lot less than that.
I'll be surprised if he does more than
It's
that.
gonna end up being a flop. This album was not what it was supposed to be. And if Game would have just made a focused concept record, conceptual, because he had some dope concepts on here, he would have had something. He would have had something to talk about.
Yeah,
You know, and the screwed up thing about it is that there were other people that came out. Like I think Danger Mouse and Black Thought came out with a pretty dope project. I'm hearing, I didn't hear it, but I hear Megan Thee Stallion's album is good. I don't know about that,
yeah,
but people are talking about it. But everything was about game, 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 and this album was a disappointment. Period.
yeah, yeah, man. It is what it is, man.
So next segment we're gonna talk about the reaction to game and we're gonna talk about the according to hip hop. We're gonna talk about that stuff
Yeah.
and compilation albums next. All right, so we're gonna see y'all in a few. Check this out, Shadow Code Radio. This is the official game Drillmatic Heart versus the Mind review. Check this out. We're gonna post this later tonight, and we'll see you in the next segment. All right, peace.